Good morning, afternoon, or night, everyone. This is another episode of UMass Yak Back. Thank you for tuning in. Tonight we've got a very good episode in store for you. We're going to be talking about our hopes and dreams for this show next year when we move buildings. You can hear all about that, why we're moving buildings. Good question. Then we're going to be talking about a certain rapper's Twitter page and how it's been blowing up recently, Kanye West. You might have heard of him. And lastly, we're going to be sharing our tips for UMass with you, the viewer. So hopefully you can work those into your UMass experience and have a better time here. So stick around, everyone. It's going to be a great show. Hello, everyone. So this time next year, this setting will be a little different. And that is because we are moving to a different building next year. The building that we are currently in, the Student Union building, is being shut down and it's going to be renovated over the course of the next year. This decision was made by the students of UMass when 55% of us voted to increase our tuition in order to fund a renovation of this building. So UMass Yak Back is going to be headed over to most likely Herter Hall next year. And we're going to be there for a couple years, a year or two. I don't know how long construction goes. And then we're going to come back to this building and it's going to be all new and improved and fantastic. Here with me to talk about the change to our show and the change to this building are Lisa and Connor. So let's start with the actual renovation process and all that. Do you guys think this is a good use of UMass money?
I think so, because first of all, this is a very old building that we're in. It needs to be renovated. It needs to be more modernized. We need to bring more high-tech technology into it. And we're going to be in the 20,000 to 2018, 2019. You said a couple of years it's going to take. And we want the reputation of UMass to be the flagship of the college, and we want to make sure that everything that we do here is high tech and we have better equipment, state of the art to go with the flow.
Yeah. Connor, how do you feel about it?
I agree. This is my first semester on the show, but I definitely can't argue with the idea of a nice new place to come and film. I think, how could you argue with that? We're the ones gaining from it, so I'm not going to have anything bad to say about it personally.
Yeah. Well, I don't think anyone can argue that upgrading our facilities here is a bad thing. But now you guys go to school here, obviously, as do I.
Yes.
You've seen around this campus. Do you feel that there's other buildings or other departments that could maybe use an upgrade more than this building possibly?
WMUA, the radio station, can look really refined, I can just picture like glass top tables and, you're just on the air and, I can't wait to see what the renovation's going to look like.
Connor?
I definitely think that it could go other places, definitely. I mean, for example, like, a lot of the classrooms, at least that my classes are in, are kind of just old and stale feeling. I can probably name 3 buildings on campus that like feel nice and new. Like I think like the new business building, obviously, which is not even open yet, is it? I don't know.
No, still under construction.
And then the ILC, is that what it is? ILC?
Yes.
The ILC is super nice. The science building's super nice. Besides that, I think everything could use a little bit of love, I don't know.
Yeah, and on that note, it's reassuring to know that there's sort of always construction going on. So even though this building over here maybe isn't getting attention now, it most likely will be getting attention in the next couple of years. That seems to be how
Right.
UMass does it. So anyway, we'll be moving next year. And I think that presents a good opportunity for us to change the show up a little bit. We'll have a clean slate almost, a new studio. We can put new ideas forth. So let's hear from you guys. Do you have any suggestions that we can share with our fans of what we can do to improve our show?
I think with the state-of-the-art equipments that we're gonna have, we could have like more comedy sessions on, a little more incorporating like students that come from different departments and join the Yak Back show and be a part of it. I think more of a community, making it more of a connection. So it's not just the members, but we can invite friends and, so one big family right here on the set.
Yeah, definitely. They could throw money at us all day, but what it comes down to, like you said, is getting people who are passionate and want to be involved. That's
Right.
what really helps drive it to a new level. But getting more funding and getting nicer equipment will help with that. It will draw people to the show, of course. Connor, what do you think? What are your big ideas for this show?
Big ideas. I don't know. I think having like a green screen would be super cool. Just like do a lot of fun things with that. I don't know. That's just the only thing that's coming to mind now. But
Yeah, a green screen would be nice. Do you have any ideas for like do you have a segment in mind that you'd like to do?
I don't have a
use green
segment in
screen
mind,
for?
but I just, I think like weather, for example. Not that we could do the weather, but something fun like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we could probably do like incorporate some reporting. We can probably do some kind of a costume character, yakking back. We could put a costumes on and play the part of title of the show, and make it more creative and fun. And that will probably have more people on the outside watching to see, wow, what's happening here? What's concocting today at Yak Back?
Yeah, exactly. We're officially classified as a talk show, but we often have to take on the responsibility of reporting news because the news show that was at this station is no longer being made, and a new facility, new people could change that. And then we
Exactly.
could focus more on comedy and lighthearted stuff, and we could have someone else doing the news and that kind of
I
stuff.
think I like that idea.
Yeah, definitely. Well, either way, new building or not, we're excited for next year and for the next couple years here at UMass Yak Back, and we hope that you'll stay with us on that journey. So after a multi-year break from the platform, Kanye West has returned to Twitter, and he has been using it quite a bit in the last week or so, I would say. And Kanye West, now the reason this is a story that we're covering is because Kanye West is angering some people out there because a lot of his tweets are of the conservative mindset, you would say. And of course, on Twitter, that makes some people angry. So with me here to talk about this development is Sean and Connor. So, fellas, you've read Kanye's Twitter. What is your first reaction to it? What opening statements?
I personally, I liked reading them. I read through them a bit, and I love Kanye. I think he's funny and a smart dude. And I enjoyed perusing his comments. I don't take him too seriously, though. I think some people do.
Yeah. I just think it's an instance where, when you write really good entries in your diary, and you're just in some bunker somewhere for 3 years, you're just adding to your diary, right? You're adding.
Yep.
And then one day you're like, wait a second, the world needs to hear this. And then one by line, you just tweet them out.
Yeah, that must be how it is.
That's beautiful.
He's honestly,
It's
putting
dark.
out-
It's a little twisted, but
Yeah.
that's fantasy of mine is just to be that open.
Like what he's tweeting out, like more than 10 tweets a day, which is a lot. Now, the most controversial things I would say are, other than like some slightly conservative stuff, which is how he started off with, and a lot of his fans are kind of like, "What are you doing, Kanye?" And then came a tweet of him in a "Make America Great Again" hat. And then since then, it's been a lot of tweets praising Trump. President Trump actually retweeted Kanye and said something along the lines of, "Thank you, Kanye." So in terms of, it's no surprise to us that a celebrity is using their platform on Twitter to get their politics across. People do it all the time, but it's mostly left-leaning. Do you think Twitter is good as a platform for celebrities to be able to voice their politics, or do you think that they should sort of stay out of that?
I'd say, in the case of Kanye, like no one wants to hear old Kanye, old like cynical conservative Kanye. Like I'm more of a fan of younger Kanye. I'm not a fan of the old Kanye. So I think you can just get it out of Twitter. Yeah.
Old being
Like
now?
conservative, you know,
Kanye?
you know that like
present or like before? Old?
yeah, cause like old and conservative. You ever hear that? Like
Yeah.
when you're young, you're liberal. When you're
Right,
older,
yeah.
conservative. I feel like Kanye definitely fits that. So
Was he liberal
That's
when he was
what-
younger? I don't actually.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't believe he's been very political up until this point. Aside from this past election, he did mention he was running in 2020,
Yeah.
but
yeah,
he didn't really get into politics too much. And also, I want to mention on that note that he has now said he's running in 2024, presumably because he wants Trump to go a second term. But anyways, Connor, back to you. Do you think that Twitter is a good thing for famous people to have?
I kind of do. I think you can make the case that like, you know, people who are famous and like let this fame go to their head, Twitter's not, you know, not helpful for, not good for them. But I don't know. I think it's definitely, it's provocative.
yeah. I mean,
So-
Gets the people
it's
going.
super.
People going.
Yeah, it does get the people going. But I mean,
which says something. It's cool.
I mean, it's a change in modern times. Like, I mean, you had a bunch of old famous people in the past. Think like Pablo Picasso, right? He's just making these masterpieces. What if he was just like egotistical on Twitter? It's like,
Right.
you know what,
No,
Pablo, get a life. Like, just do something with your life, okay? Don't
Yep.
be on Twitter. Just be painting in some corner somewhere. Like, no, Kanye's a genius, but he's a madman.
Mm.
He's a
Says-
madman.
He says what
And
he thinks.
I mean, if he actually seriously wants to campaign, my first proposition would be that, you know what? How about you drop out? You've done it before.
right, referring to
Wait,
his
what?
college dropout album, of course.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, if he's gonna run, I hope he misfiles it and like he has to pay a registration fee for being late to the party. Because
Okay.
I mean, honestly, I don't think there's presidential graduations. I think it's just inauguration, right?
yeah,
No one throws a birthday party if you're president, right?
True.
Oh.
Exactly.
Yeah, so at least you don't have to worry about that, right?
Birthday party.
Yeah, well, we sit here and we joke about Kanye and his tweets, but a lot of people, other celebrities, are angered at this. A lot of celebrities have been coming out and saying, oh my God, let's get Kanye off Twitter. You know, shut down your Twitter account again. Chance the Rapper came out and tweeted in support of Kanye, saying something, I'm paraphrasing, he said, black people don't have to be Democrats. Meaning that just because Kanye is sort of saying something that you're not usually going to hear from famous people on Twitter, it's not exactly a bad thing. But no, a lot of people are really angry, and I want to know from you guys, do you think that this is going to hurt Kanye's future album sales and his clothing line and shoe line sales?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
Is it the beginning of his downfall? I don't know.
Or a steamed toast.
That's the question. Or is it the beginning of his downfall, or is he opening up to a whole new audience, an audience that got Trump elected?
Yeah, but I mean, also he has been in the cave. Like, he already did have his kind of breakdown, his lowest point. Like, hopefully, I mean, maybe this is his maybe stooping lower than he was a few years ago. You know, when he just kind of left the public spotlight a bit. It was just off in some cave somewhere. Some guy's going, "The punishment must be more severe," and he's just like taking over. Music industry changed while he was gone, and now he's coming back. But I mean, yeah, he's got to get that Trump stuff out of his system. Personally,
You think so?
yeah, Jesus doesn't need to come to the Oval Office. You don't need these Jesus aircraft. Like he said, he'd make the Air Force One. He'd call it Jesus Force One.
Oh.
Like we don't need Jesus submarines. You know, double decker bumper cars. Jesus. Like we're
Okay.
sick of it. Okay.
Yeah, well, those are the famous words from Sean Murphy here. Well, I implore you all to go and just check out Kanye's Twitter, regardless of whether you're going to end up agreeing with it or not, because it is some interesting stuff, and there are some interesting conversations going on in the comments of those tweets. So check it out.
He has left at least 808 people heartbroken, and he knows it. I'm heartbroken.
So everyone, with the year almost over, this is our last episode, yes. With the year almost over, we want to take this opportunity to share our experiences here at UMass and maybe give some tips to you, whether you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, or if you're in high school still and you're not going to see this till this summer maybe, incoming freshmen, and maybe our experiences can help you a little bit. So with me to share our unique experiences here at UMass is Sean, a sophomore, and Lisa, a senior who is graduating very soon. So round of applause for Lisa, of course.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
So let's start with, what would you guys tell yourself as you were coming into the school if you could go back in time?
Jeez, if I can go back in time, it seems like it's 4 semesters, because I'm a full-time student, it went by so fast. I couldn't believe it. It's like, and even though I'm graduating in a few weeks in May 11th, I felt like I just got here. I'm like, 2 years, because I came in with an associate's dual degree from Hoyt Community College. So when I came here, I'm going to be graduating now with a bachelor's with honors in multimedia journalism and strategic communication. And I cannot believe that I came in with a communication mindset, and I didn't know that this is what my degree would entail through the BDIC. So it was a huge stepping stone for me, but I'm in awe, I'm honored, and I'm so proud of myself.
Yeah, so definitely I think that is a good tip from that would be like don't put too much pressure on yourself to decide what you want to do, because you can change your mind.
Exactly.
I know I did it. I came in as a political science major, and now I'm a communications major.
Right.
Sean, what tips do you have for your former self?
Yikes. No, honestly, I'd probably just ghost my former self and just not give him any tips.
Yeah,
I'd let them
deal
figure
with
it out.
on his own.
You know, I don't want any spoilers. You know, you're gonna be seeing a lot of Tyler Kuhn's face every week on Yak Back,
And he would have said, "Who's Tyler Kuhn?" Because it's
yeah, exactly. Who wouldn't have known? But like, he would have known that. Like, yeah, every week at 5:30, you're gonna come in on Thursdays to the station for a while because we're moving, and there's just gonna be this tyrant on the throne, and you're gonna be expected to watch it. And
wow, that's the first time I've ever been called a tyrant, I can honestly say. But let's see, my tip for my freshman self would be like join clubs early and get involved with stuff early. I didn't join this club until just this year, and my life could have been totally different if I had joined last year and got involved with this earlier. So who knows? Get involved with stuff. Don't if you find yourself with a lot of free time, find something to do with other people. That's my tip. Let's move on to like housing tips. Lisa,
I did
live
not
off
do the
campus,
housing. I commuted, and so I wasn't off
okay.
campus. I couldn't afford the housing. I'm sorry, but financially I had
it's
to
nothing
commute.
to
But you
apologize
know, I had to find money for gas, so
Yeah.
there's a drawback every time you turn. But I'm happy with being UMass and seeing all the different challenges and like you were saying about if you put your mind to something, do it and don't procrastinate. Because procrastinating is not going to get you anywhere. You got to put your whole self into it and show that you can do this and you will get ahead.
Sean, you have any housing tips? Tell everyone what housing area you live in on campus.
This year, I am on top of a hill. I'm actually in Central, so
Okay.
it was a little false advertising because, O Hill is the hill, but same hill.
Is Central has the tallest point on campus, actually, doesn't it?
I would hope so.
Is Van Meter in Central?
I mean, other places are higher sometimes, but I'd say typically Central is probably the highest point on campus.
So
I mean, last year I was in the Dirty P, so that's like bottom of Southwest. So it's like right around the towers.
So you did live in Southwest.
Yeah, so I wouldn't really
You
call that
moved,
high.
So you didn't have a good experience in Southwest? Or
I
you
didn't.
just-
I didn't have a bad experience. I had an experience. Well,
but
also it was
wasn't good enough
freshman
to make you
year,
wanna come
so
back to Southwest.
I don't know. Sometimes I just want to be up a hill, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask,
Sometimes
like,
you
being
just
up
need
on a
to-
hill, was that a good view, or how was that?
Personally, I'm not like a big view guy. Like, I don't know. It's where I'm living now. I committed to it. I'm being housed, and that's, I guess, all that really matters. Also, it's like the oldest dorm on campus, I think. I'm in Butterfield.
Oh yeah. Oh okay. Okay. Yeah.
So, whatever way you slice it, like it's pretty old
Definitely. Yeah.
for a building.
I, like Sean, lived in Southwest my freshman year, and I live in Southwest again this year, and I'm going to live in Southwest next year. And my tip for you people, if you're an incoming student, everyone, like parents who are alumni at the school, everyone's gonna be like, don't live in Southwest, it's party central, you're never gonna get to sleep. That's not true at all. It's not nearly as crazy as people make it out to be. Southwest, I think, is the perfect spot. It's nice. It's got the best dining with Berkshire Dining, and it's relatively close to everything. And if you do want to go hang out with some people and have some excitement, you're like in the center of all of that.
Yeah.
So that's good.
No, I'd say Southwest is pretty cool, especially because it's newer, being in Central
It is,
this
yeah.
year.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of
definitely.
really old drum machines out there, like probably hundreds of them, like 808, 809, and they're just heartbroken because they're not getting used.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're down in Southwest, it's just constantly pumping out the volume.
Mm.
Yeah, I would say it is definitely the loudest place on campus, like no question.
Yes. Definitely.
And
Well,
the pull outside of Burke is actually pretty high.
yeah,
To,
people
re-
climb
to
it.
retort what I said before
if you
about
live in
Central.
Southwest, you might see someone climb the pole.
Yeah,
I know
it's
that
a good pull.
That kind of contradicts what I just said about it not being crazy, but oh well.
Yeah, I mean,
Anyways, everyone, we hope that these tips were useful to you. And if you have any more questions, especially if you're an incoming student, tweet UMass Yakback, and we will answer all your questions for you. And if you are coming here, look into this club. We're looking for people. Well, everyone, that is our show for tonight. Thank you for tuning in. This is the last episode of the year, as I mentioned earlier. So if you've been watching all year, thank you for that. We hope to see you back next year. And we just want to shout out our two seniors from the show, Sharon and Lisa. They're going to go on to graduate and do wonderful things, I'm sure. But anyways, everyone, this concludes this year of UMass Yakback. We'll be back in the fall. So until then, stay busy, and we'll see you soon.